Hello, honorable members of the clan. So welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. I want to say something, and I know this is not going to be a popular video, or at least it has the potential of not being a popular video, because South Africa lives in denial. There are a lot of people that live in denial, and as a result of their denialism, they become extremely dishonest. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about mixing politics with religion. Now, well, today, the church, I don't know which church this is, and I'm thinking probably like leaders of churches, they have gathered together and they've invited the former Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court, Raymond Zondo, who delivered a very powerful speech, by the way, very honest speech. Because he is amongst people that we purport to be holy, people that are honest, people that have the best interests of people and their salvation, right?
This syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and Correctional Services.
But when it comes to election time, these are the same people that politicians give them brown envelope or promise them a tender or promise them a donation of some sort so that the pastor or the priest or whoever is in charge of a particular religious organization will live a soft life, flown in private jets to Italy to buy Louis Vuittons and Gucci's, driving Rolls Royces to church in front of the people that they are supposed to be serving, as well as working their salvation. And then comes politicians and they lie to them, and subsequently when they lie to their congregants, they then take the same politician and put them in the pulpit and lie to the people. I mean, you have to ask yourself this question: where does light and darkness got anything to do in the house of God?
They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people.
Where? Because we know politicians are liars. And then you bring a liar into the house of God to lie to you, and then you're all cheer, yeah! And then you go and stand in the queues and vote the liar in, and yet the same liar is the one that is responsible for you losing loved ones through violence, crime. And you, the same person that struggles with sewage running in front of your house, you the same person also who's living probably in a shack. You the same person who is a parent of children of adulthood and they have never gotten a job in their lives and probably not even going to school, simply because the liar is inept, has no vision, and is stealing from the coffers of this country. So now when you're doing all of this, and Justice Zondo said something very, very important about the Scorpions. Remember the Scorpions? Yeah, I've spoke about the Scorpions on this channel endlessly, about how it used to be so effective, so much so that many people began to be even scared, even though they knew they were not committing any corruption or crime, because the Scorpions, we knew they stung. They did sting.
Keynote speaker, former Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, didn't mince his words.
In the early 2000s, we had the Scorpions, which were very effective in fighting corruption. The criminals had begun to fear them. But in the 2007 ANC elective conference, a resolution was taken to disband them. My faith in the Hawks is not the same as the faith I had in the Scorpions. We cannot talk about intensifying or strengthening our fight against corruption without a police force that is able to do its job properly.
And now the honesty of Justice Zondo about the Hawks is exactly the same way I've been feeling. Now you have to ask yourself this question. These pastors and priests that had gathered this particular event and called on the Chief Justice to come and speak, how many funerals have they attended or presided over of family members' loved one who was unalived by crime? They were quiet. They did not write and make noise to the government and say, hey, people are dropping like flies. As a pastor who is in the front line every single weekend bearing children from white powder overdoses, from being unalived through pew-pews and stabbings and you name it. But no, they're quiet. When the Scorpions was disbanded, what did they say? Mom. When the Hawks are failing, I mean, look at our crime rate in this country. Mom. When the intelligence is nowhere to be found. Mom. So how much have they contributed to all the mayhem that is going on in this country? A lot. You know why I'm saying it's a lot? Because they are the ones who open their doors to liars to come and lie to you. Because you have no reason to distrust your pastor. You have no reason to distrust your priest, but they are the ones that are selling you, and they are selling you to liars, people that come and make promises that they do not keep, and you don't hold your pastors accountable, and yet your pastor is living a lavish lifestyle from the money that he or she has gotten from those politicians, and you're not saying anything. You see why I said this video is not going to be popular? Because it hits home. You are the one that allowed yourself to be lied to. And that is why it's important going forward that no pastor should bring a politician in the house of God if that pastor has never confronted the government. And we were just recently in June, we submitted the constitutional review, some sections, and I'm telling you, what of any of those leaders in that conference or whatever it was that have submitted anything to the Constitutional Review Committee of Parliament? What have they done? If they did, it's not to your interest. It is not going to be to your interest. This is upsetting, guys. I mean, I'm listening to this and I'm thinking to myself, but these are the people that has caused all of this by their silence, by saying nothing. And now we need to take this seriously because suddenly they are concerned. Things have been going down the hill since the late 2007 to date. Downhill, the church has been quiet. But instead, come election time, here you see a politician standing in the same pulpit and lying and manipulating the congregations all over the country. And nobody is holding anybody accountable. No, they need to be held accountable. They need to be questioned. How is it possible that light and darkness have anything to do with each other? Bad and evil, how are they having a relationship that is going to help your salvation? That is going to help the country from functioning? Of course, they're not going to care. I mean, they are so detached from you because they're already living in ivory towers. They come to church driving Rolls Royces. Yeah. So why would they care about you and your safety? Why would they care about you and your stomach? Why would they care about you and your education? Why would they care about you and your children's employment? Why would they? They go to bed with full stomachs. They wake up in the morning. They have a variety of choices they can choose to eat. What choice do you have? Do you see at the end of the day, you are the one that is being made a fool of? And you need to put an end to it. No politician should come to your church and take the pulpit and lie to you. Hold your pastor accountable. That's what you need to do. Yeah, I know. You can say whatever you want to say in the comment section, but it's the truth. And if you do say something that is opposite to what I'm saying, then one has to question your own understanding of salvation, honesty, and also having integrity as a human being. Because clearly, some of the pastors, when you look at them, you're like, yeah, it makes sense. It really does. You have no integrity for yourself as a human being. Let's put aside the divine part of you, which obviously is tainted. It is mudded. It's diluted. But you the one who at the receiving end, you the one who see your pastor or your priest in a particular way, you trust them. And they are taking your trust and then they are using it against you with all the horrible things that are happening in your life. Lack of unemployment, service delivery, none of it exists. Unemployment, so many things, so many things. So I hold the church very much accountable. And I've been holding the church accountable for a very long time. For a very, very long time. And I'm now going to voice out because honesty is important. The church has contributed to our demise in this country. They go to funerals every single weekend. And most of these funerals that they attend or they preside over are people that have been unalived in the most cruelest of ways. So why aren't you sitting down and doing your accountancy and say, but listen, this year, it's July and it's towards the end. And I've been to so many funerals that I've presided over that are through violence. Something is going on. Why don't I say something to my fellow church leaders in the various denominations and say, guys, am I the only one who's presiding over funerals of young people and South Africans, for that matter, that have been alive in this horrendous way? No, they don't do that. They don't care. Because some actually, you have to pay them to preside over your funeral. So it's the money they go for. So they're not calling for the return of the scorpions. Corruption is rampant in this country. They are here collecting money from the poor. Aye, guys, no. We need to start having honest conversations. We need to start having honest conversations. And if you are that pastor, that priest or church leader that has no integrity, you should take accountability for the things that are happening in this country. You are a horrible human being. Especially when you are collecting money from politicians so that they can lie to your congregation. You are a horrible human being. Remember, you need to be blameless and spotless. Right now, you are the opposite of that. Opposite. Start doing something. Work with South Africans. You are quiet about Dudula fighting for the people of South Africa. You are quiet about much and much when they are fighting for South Africans. You're just quiet. Those people. Just give us money. That's all we care about. Money, 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 money. So that you can drive Rolls Royces when you come to church and have a private jet in the hangar at OR Tambo International or King Shaka International. Isn't that what you show us? That's what is important. That's what is important. And then your congregation will be like, oh, pastor, the richest pastor in South Africa. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that? Anyways, I will leave it here. I just thought this is very interesting, but the wrong people called the former Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court. The wrong people. Unfortunately, I have no faith in either of y'all. None of you. You are not leaders. You are not whatever you think you are. You're absolutely not. Unless you can prove it to us. Well, let me speak for myself. I know I'm just a lonely voice, but I'm sorry. From my observations, no salvation here. Absolutely none. Call me judgmental. Yes, I'm judging. I'm judging. Anyways, guys, please don't leave the video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. This is a conversation that is very important. We are going to local government elections, and they're going to be going to the very same people that call the former Chief Justice to lie to you. Don't allow it.